Welcome everyone, and welcome to the Ultimate Cookie Cooking Show. Today we are going to learn how to make the ultimate chocolate chip cookies. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to set our oven to 325 degrees. So let's go do that. To set our oven to 325 degrees, we first have to press the bake button. Next, we have to type in 325 degrees. After that, we just wait for the oven to heat up all the way. While that's happening, why don't we go ahead and start making the dough? To make the dough, there are two parts. First part is the dry ingredients. We're going to start off with 2 cups and 2 tablespoons of flour. Go ahead and put that in a bowl. And then we're going to add a half a tablespoon of salt and a half a tablespoon of baking soda. Make sure you use baking soda and not baking powder. We're going to go ahead and mix those together. The second part of our dough is the wet ingredients. To do that, we have to first melt our butter. We have here 12 tablespoons of butter. A lot, I know, but make sure it's unsalted. For our butter, we want to make sure that first, before putting it in the microwave, we cut it up into small pieces, like so. The next thing we want to do is to make sure that it's covered. This is to help protect the butter from being burnt. After that, we're going to go ahead and put it in the microwave. I suggest to have the microwave at a power of either 2 or 3. Not too much higher than that because we don't want the butter to burn. I also suggest that you do it at 30-second increments. Any more than that can cause the butter to burn also. So we're going to go ahead and melt our butter. So the butter is melted and it took about 40 seconds to melt. Next we're going to combine it with the sugar. So, now we're going to combine our melted butter with 2 types of sugar. The first type of sugar is light brown sugar. We're going to use a whole cup of that. Go ahead and put that into your electric mixer. The next type of sugar we're going to use is granulated sugar, or otherwise known as white sugar. Go ahead and put that in your bowl too. The last thing we're going to add is our melted butter that we just got. Make sure to add the whole thing, but be very careful. It's liquefied, so it'll spill easily. Once that is done, go ahead and turn on your electric mixer. Make sure that it's locked to about medium speed for 2 minutes. Alright. 2 minutes have passed, so the next thing we're going to do is add the eggs and the vanilla. The eggs are a little different than what normally you do for the chocolate chip cookies. So what we're going to do is first add a normal egg. Be careful not to get any shells in the dough, of course. The next thing we have to do though, for our second egg, is we have to separate the whites and the yolks. I normally do this with just my hand, but you can use a bowl. So what you do is you're going to crack the egg on one side, open it up, and dispose of the shell. The next thing you're going to do is swish it back and forth until you get most of the white off of the yolk. You're then just going to put that white to the side and add the yolk to your dough. After that, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla into the dough. Then, turn on your electric mixer until everything is combined. Now, the last thing we're going to add to this wet dough is our dry ingredients. Now, you want to add this in 3 additions, so split the dough up into either 3 bowls or just spill in about 1/3 each mix. You want to make sure that there's not too much in there at once, because otherwise the flour will come back up and then it won't really go into the dough. So make sure that whenever you do this, do it on low speed. Now, after each addition, make sure to scrape down the sides with a spatula. This will make sure that all the flour gets into the dough. Now that all the dry ingredients have been added to our dough, the next part is the easiest and by far my favorite. We're going to add 10 ounces of dark chocolate chips. That's what I suggest, but you can use either semi-sweet or milk chocolate too. Now, unlike our other ingredients, we're going to add these chocolate chips by hand. I'm going to use a spatula, but you can use anything from a wooden spoon to your hands. Now that our dough is done, we're going to go ahead and scoop our cookies. I'm going to use a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop. You can also use just a plain old tablespoon. The way I do it is grab the dough, put it in my hands, make sure to roll it into a nice ball, and then place it on my prepared cookie sheet. I use silicone mats, but you could go ahead and use parchment paper. For these cookies, because they are so big, I'm going to go ahead and give them about 2 inches apart from each other. This is so that they don't melt together while cooking. After you're done with one sheet, you should be able to fit about 8 cookies on a sheet. Now that we have our cookies and our oven has beeped, meaning that it's ready and heated, we're going to go ahead and put the cookies in. We're going to put them in for about 15 to 20 minutes, but make sure that you switch them around halfway through. So we're going to go ahead and set the timer at 7 minutes. Now, the cookies have been done for about 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take them out of the oven. We always want to make sure that there's a nice gold ring around the cookies. That's a good telltale sign that they're done. So let's go ahead and take a look. Make sure you're wearing an oven mitt, of course, when taking out these cookies. I then place it on a cooling rack. This allows a lot of the cool air from the room to circulate and cool down the cookies a lot quicker. Once they're done, we're going to go ahead and put them on the cookie rack so that they can finally cool all the way. After that, they're all done and they're ready to be eaten. Finally, they're ready to eat. My suggestion to be eating the ultimate chocolate chip cookie is with an ultimate glass of milk. Make sure to break it in half, dip it in, and enjoy. So good. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching and happy cooking.